Buongiorno tutti quanti, mi chiamo Dana Scheider e vi accolgo a lezione 15 di Italian for Beginners. In questa lezione discutiamo il vocabolario preliminare per capitolo 2. Oggi continueremo con il vecchio libro, la sesta edizione di Prego. Ho annunciato nel video precedente che useremo un nuovo libro, cioè l'ottava edizione, però ho ordinato l'ottava e non è ancora arrivata. Quindi oggi continuiamo con la sesta. Il link che ho postato nella descrizione di questo video è per comprare il nuovo libro che non usiamo proprio qui. Il vecchio è ormai tanto difficile da trovare e in ogni caso non vi consiglio di comprarlo visto che useremo il nuovo nel futuro. Allora, in questo video vi mostro il vocabolario preliminare per capitolo 2. Prima vi leggerò il dialogo lampo a pagina 48 e poi vi dimostro la pronuncia degli aggettivi a pagine 48 e 49. Cominciamo con il dialogo lampo a pagina 48. Io lo leggo prima e poi rispondete alle domande sotto. Qui si tratta della domanda com'è, oppure se si parla di più di una persona. Come sono? Ascolta bene come si descrivono le persone nel dialogo. Andrea. Ecco la foto di una mia amica, Paola. Lei è di Palermo, in Sicilia. Valeria. È davvero bella. Andrea. Oh sì, Paola è straordinaria. È simpatica, divertente, sensibile ed è anche molto gentile. Valeria. Sono sicura che Paola ha una grande pazienza perché tu sei sempre stressato e nervoso. Allora mettete il video in pausa e rispondete alle domande. Come sono Paola e Andrea? Come si descrivono? E di dov'è Paola? Quando avrete finito, continueremo con il vocabolario. Ripetete ogni parola dopo che io la pronunci. So here are a couple things before I jump into the vocabulary. First of all, I've added a couple words. They're colors. I felt like the book didn't really cover all of the colors that it should, so I just added a couple more. I haven't given translations for each word, and I'll kind of discuss the reasons for that a little later, but I have given examples. In the examples, you may notice that the adjectives have a different ending than they do in the list. That's because adjectives in Italian, like nouns, have gender and number, as you've seen with buono and bello in the previous chapter. And so some of the examples have a different gender or number than the masculine singular that's given in the vocab list. If you see words that you don't know, look them up in a dictionary, but it's important to understand when you're using a dictionary that it's a reference more than a set in stone factual translation for every word. A lot of the time there isn't really a direct translation that works in every context. So it's important to try to kind of understand what the words mean and learn from the class or from the book what contexts to use them in, because that will just give you a lot more information than a dictionary. And now, without further ado, I give you the vocabulary. Alto. Michael Jordan è alto. Alto. basso. Il bambino è basso, basso. Anziano. Questa donna è anziana, anziano. Vecchio. La donna è vecchia, vecchio. Giovane. Questa è una bimba molto giovane, giovane. Bello. Gigi Hadid è molto bella, bello. Brutto. Il mostro è brutto, brutto. Biondo. Marilyn Monroe è bionda, biondo. Bruno. Salma Hayek è bruna, Bruno. Lungo. Raperonzolo ha i capelli lunghi, lungo. Corto. Halle Berry ha i capelli corti, corto. Riccio. La donna ha i capelli ricci, riccio. Liscio. La donna ha i capelli lisci, liscio. Castano. La donna ha i capelli castani, castano. Grande. La banana è grande, grande. Piccolo. I topi sono piccoli, piccolo. Grasso. La donna è grassa, grasso. Magro. La ballerina è magra, magro. Allegro. I bambini sono allegri, allegro. Antipatico. Il bullo è antipatico, antipatico. Simpatico. I ragazzi sono simpatici, simpatico. Arrabbiato. L'uomo è arrabbiato, arrabbiato. Bravo. Albert Einstein è bravo in fisica, bravo. Bugiardo. I politici sono tutti bugiardi, bugiardo. Cattivo. Il bambino fa qualcosa di cattivo, cattivo. Divertente. Kesha è divertente, divertente. Energico. Le due persone sono energiche, energico. Estroverso. Queste persone sono probabilmente estroverse. Estroverso. Gentile. La ragazzina è gentile con la mamma. Gentile. Intelligente. Il brain è intelligente. Intelligente. Responsabile. Le donne sono responsabili dei loro cani. Responsabile. Irresponsabile. Gente irresponsabile getta rifiuti nel torrente. Irresponsabile. Nervoso. L'uomo è nervoso. Nervoso. Noioso. La lezione è noiosa. Noioso. Onesto. Abraham Lincoln è onesto. Onesto. Orgoglioso. Il pavone è orgoglioso. Orgoglioso. Pigro. Il ragazzo è pigro. Pigro. Sensibile. La donna è sensibile. Sensibile. Sportivo. L'atleta è sportivo. Sportivo. Stanco. La donna è stanca. Stanco. Stressato. La ragazza è stressata. Stressato. Tranquillo. La ragazza sta tranquilla. Tranquillo. Triste. L'uomo è triste. Triste. E adesso con le nazionalità. Americano. Questa è la bandiera americana. Canadese. Questa è la bandiera canadese. Canadese. Cinese. Questa è la bandiera cinese. Francese. Questa è la bandiera francese. Francese. Giapponese. Questa è la bandiera giapponese. Giapponese. Inglese. Questa è la bandiera inglese. Inglese. Irlandese. Questa è la bandiera irlandese. Irlandese. Italiano. Questa è la bandiera italiana. Italiano. Messicano. Questa è la bandiera messicana. Messicano. Russo. Questa è la bandiera russa. russo, spagnolo. Questa è la bandiera spagnola. Spagnolo. Tedesco. Questa è la bandiera tedesca. Tedesco. E di colori. Azzurro, blu, rosa, bianco, giallo, grigio, nero, rosso, verde, marrone. So I want to talk a little bit about the usage of some of the words that we've learned. First of all, anziano versus vecchio. Anziano is a word that refers to people. It means elderly. On the other hand, vecchio is more general. Vecchio means old, and you can apply it to either people or things. Basso and corto both mean short, but they're not interchangeable. Basso means height, and it can also mean low, like a low ceiling. You would use basso. Corto, on the other hand, means short in length. So a short piece of string, short hair, a short pencil. Those kind of things are corto. Castano and marrone. Castano is a word that means brown, but it only describes hair or eyes. So anything else that's brown, you would use marrone. Azzurro versus blue. Azzurro, I've illustrated this a little bit in the slides with the colors in the background, but azzurro refers to a lighter sky blue, and blue means a darker or more saturated shade of blue. There's also a special little thing about the words blu and rosa, and that is that these words are the same regardless of gender or number. So whether it's masculine, feminine, singular, or plural, it's always blu and it's always rosa. That means that these words are called invariable adjectives. Sensibile means sensitive. That has a few meanings in English, and this means a couple of them, but not all. Sensibile can refer to sensory organs, sensitive eyes, sensitive skin, that kind of thing. It can also mean emotionally sensitive. What it doesn't mean is like attuned to the needs of others. We can say that in English, that something is sensitive or insensitive towards others, and sensibile is not the word that Italians would use to say that. Finally, divertente is an adjective that means fun, fun-loving, or fun to be around, and it can refer to either people or activities that are fun or anything like that. In English, when we refer to a person as fun, especially if it's a woman, there tends to be a strong sexual connotation, and that doesn't exist in Italian. Divertente doesn't have that connotation. So that's just something to keep in mind. There's no double entendre there. A couple things on conventions. So when you're reading and writing in Italian, things to be aware of. So nationalities and languages are not considered proper names and are not capitalized. So parli bene l'italiano. L'italiano is not capitalized. Anna è una brava ragazza russa. You can see russa is not capitalized in this sentence because it's an adjective, it's not the name of a place. Names of places are still capitalized. So you can see in these example sentences, Francia and Cina are capitalized. The only time that io is capitalized in Italian is at the beginning of a sentence. It's not like in English where we capitalize I wherever it appears. Io is always lowercase except at the beginning of a sentence. Finally, a little note about quotation marks. So Italian has two possible ways to enclose quoted text or to indicate quoted text. It can use either English style quotes like we do, or it can use these angle quotes called guillemets. Both of them mean the same thing. Both of them indicate that the text inside is a quotation. But in terms of how you write them, you want to remember, if you're using the guillemets, to put spaces inside them between the guillemet and the text. That's just a little convention to know about when you're writing in Italian. All right, so now I kind of want to take a deep dive into something. You may have noticed that there's kind of an important word that has been missing from both the previous chapter and this chapter, and that word is bad. We've heard about buono, we've heard about bello, but how do you say bad? And there's some bad news about bad. Specifically, there isn't a word for bad in Italian the way that we use it in English. Instead, there are several words that you have to use to express that meaning. As usual, you don't get to choose. So here are some of them. The noun, il male, refers to evil or moral badness. So this is the word that you'll hear in like a religious sense to mean evil. Brutto can be used often. It can describe an unpleasant situation. It means ugly. It can refer to a person's behavior, like una brutta cosa da fare is a bad thing to do. Or it can also refer to the weather. Fa brutto oggi. It's nasty today. Cattivo is another word that you can hear translated bad, and it refers to behavior ranging from simple mischief to really bad stuff. So if you hear something like un bambino cattivo, probably the kid is just getting into trouble. Un uomo cattivo that's more likely to mean that this is a bad person. Male is also an adverb, and you can use it to respond to come stai if you're not doing well. When you say sto male, the first thing that people will think is that means you're not feeling well physically, but that's not the only thing it means. You can also say sto male to mean that you're not doing well psychologically. The adverb male, in fact, means badly in general, in the sense of suona la chitarra male, he plays the guitar badly. Male may be a noun or an adverb, but never an adjective. That's the important thing to know. So you would never say un ragazzo male, no. You would say un ragazzo cattivo instead. So that's bad. And now that you mention it, I actually have some bad news about good as well. Good is not as simple as it's been made out to be. There are a few different ways to idiomatically say good. Bravo in qualcosa means to be good at something. Like the example that I gave in the vocabulary list was Albert Einstein è bravo in fisica. Albert Einstein's good at physics. If you say something more general like è un bravo ragazzo, that means he's a good guy. So that's kind of an overall thing. Buono is a word that can refer to a person's elevated moral goodness. I hear it used this way rarely, but you can say like San Francesco è una buona persona. And when I've heard it used like this, it usually has almost a religious connotation, that it's not just a good person, but like a pious person. Any native Italian speakers who would like to contradict that can feel free to do so in the comments, but that's the way that I've heard it used. Buono can also refer to food and beverage. and to good things in general. But bello is often more common, especially when you're talking about anything where you would say brutto to mean the opposite. So you can say about someone's actions or behavior that's una brutta cosa da fare. That's a bad thing to do. Conversely, a good thing to do is una bella cosa da fare. You can also use it when you're talking about the weather. Fa bello means it's nice outside today. Or you can use it to refer to a situation like with brutto. So you may be thinking at this point, now hold up a second, I thought that this was Italian for beginners. Why are you giving me all of this complicated information? And the reason is because I want you to be aware that these are patterns that you'll see. It's not important at this point to memorize every rule or to try to be perfectly accurate. When you first start learning, it's tempting to want to speak fluently and accurately all the time, but that's not realistic. So your first goal has to be first to understand, then to make yourself understood. Once you're there, then you can focus on becoming more accurate, and after you've become more accurate, then focus on being articulate or speaking really well. Now, don't get me wrong, accuracy is still really important, and it can affect whether you get understood or not. So don't totally throw it away, but just don't get hung up on it too early. The other reason that I wanted to bring this up is kind of as an example, because it's actually very common that Italian words don't correspond directly to a single word in English. So that's one of the reasons why I try to use a partial immersion approach in these videos, is so that you can start to recognize patterns in the Italian that don't necessarily have anything directly to do with English. I mean, that's how languages work. You don't see that the people in Germany are like, oh, let's listen to what the people in England are saying, copy them. Instead, each language kind of develops on its own based on who's talking to who. So there's not always a direct translation. So for the next lesson, we're going to be continuing with Capitolo 2 and discussing adjectives a little more. What are they? How do you use them? Modifying the gender and number to agree with the nouns they modify. Positioning of adjectives in a sentence, because that's a little bit different than in English. And we will also talk about the ever-popular suffix issimo. So that's all I've got today. Thank you all for watching, and if you found this series useful, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.